Hello, folks. Jose with Homeboats and Travel, bringing you the final episode on the boat commissioning of the Catalina 445. We're here at beautiful Regatta Point Marina, heading over to meet with Ed Massey, who's going to give us a walkthrough of the completed commissioning Catalina 445. It's taken several months to get this whole project put together. This boat is heavily loaded, meaning everything you can think of to put on a boat, this boat has. I mean, they might have missed one little thing, but there's a lot of technology on the boat, and I think you'll enjoy this final walkthrough. So let's go catch up with that. Good morning, folks. We're here at the end of the journey. I'm here with Ed Massey at Massey Yacht Sales, and thank you to all of you who've been watching the commissioning process for the Catalina 445. Ed has been kind enough to take us on a journey through that process and showing us what does it take to get the boat ready once the factory is done with it. So it's not as simple of the factory ship it to you like a car and then you jump on it and you're good to go. There's a long process and a lot of effort and a lot of people involved to make your boat and your experience unique when you purchase a new Catalina. So Ed, how you feel about the journey for this particular boat? I mean, this has been an exercise in customization with everything that this owner ordered for it.
This is probably the most customized we've ever put together a Catalina 445. The husband and wife owners have been really generous with their patience, and I want to thank them for that. There was some new ground here, things that we haven't done before, some wire runs we haven't done before, some custom manufacturing of items we haven't done before, and it all turned out really well. But I have to say, the owner's patience allowed us to figure it out as we were going, because some of this is new ground for us. Now, the interesting thing is today will be the first day, not in this video, but in the next video, which will be the last video. It'll be episode 9 as we do the owner's orientation. This is episode 8, I believe.
Yeah.
And you've watched, and we thank you for watching each step of the make ready or commissioning process. So today, what we're going to do is kind of walk through the boat and as well as the deck and cockpit to show you where we are, and we're finished really. And what we do with the owners, we will start with the Catalina owner's manual, which is this Catalina 445 manual. I had sent this to the owner in digital form so they could take a good look at it, read through it, and that would make the 5 days of owner orientation go more smoothly and more informatively. We also are going to really, with Ted Wyrack, who did all the wire runs and the custom installs for a lot of the items, we're going to use these plans from Catalina to mark up these sheets to show where all the wire runs are, where we put things, and then we will add that to the owner's manual, and that'll be a very complete package. So down the road, if the owners need some work done, they can refer to this book, not a real big book, and quickly find the answers to their questions. So with that, why don't we kind of do the walkthrough inside here, and then we'll do the walkthrough on the exterior.
Sounds like a plan. Let's take a look, folks.
Well, here we are in the owner's stateroom. And if you'll notice, the mattress is at a bit of an angle. And what we're doing there is, this is a standard item from Catalina. This can be rotated up. And with those reading lights, now we can sit up in the berth and read a book. Very handy. Also, some of the things we have done, we went ahead and put in 7 of the Caframo fans. Really nice fans. We've done that in both staterooms, in the main salon and the galley. The owner wanted the teak grates on this boat. So we have the teak grates in both of the heads. Really a nice feature. Kind of keeps your feet from standing in water. And if you'll notice, we've got the enclosed shower. In modern times, everybody wants an enclosed shower, a separate enclosed shower, and they want an island berth like this berth. Those are 2 essential items that are demand from boat buyers, and well so. Makes the boats very, very comfortable. We've got a nice hanging locker and shelves here. Fitted sheets, those come standard from Catalina. Very nice feature. And then under our feet here, you'll notice easy access to the transducer for the depth not log. Very easy. And then on the other side, we've installed over here, we've installed a freshwater, seawater deck washdown. And you notice it's very well done with seacocks and petcocks or inlight ball valves, so you can control whether it's freshwater or saltwater, and you won't get saltwater into the freshwater system.
Now, is that a standard feature or that was a customization?
No, that's another customization. Another standard feature that I should show you real quickly. This Lifeline 8D AGM is the dedicated battery for the windlass and the bow thruster. Beautifully done. As we move aft again, I want you to notice there is a louvered panel right here. And what that is for, and you won't find this on other boats, what that is for is when you close this door to the owner's stateroom, you still have airflow back to the return air grill on the air conditioning system. I want you to take a look at this game table, as it were. Most people leave it in this position, and it's very comfortable for two people to have a meal here, or of course here at the quad bowl table. But this can go down, and then it'll go down, rest here, and it does that with this short leg, right? So that can go down, and then there's a cushion and a backrest, so this can become a bench settee. Very nice touch. Here's another example of how we install the fans. You'll notice there's virtually no wiring showing, maybe a half an inch. Ted Wyrack of Innovative Marine is really a craftsperson when it comes to installations. Ted and I work together and have worked together for about 20 years now. This is the quad fold table, beautifully done. You'll notice the grain, it's one piece of teak, and this is the cocktail table format. And then if we open this up, and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees, close it, and now we have a foretop. Again, you'll notice the grain is perfect.
Beautiful grain match, book match all throughout.
And if you'll know the book match over here, the grain through the cabinetry throughout the boat, all the grain flows book match, as Jose just said. You don't see that much on any more on boats. A lot of builders are just using laminates and not really even real hard wood. But Catalina wants the boat to be modern in terms of their performance, modern in terms of their heft of construction, but they want to be kind of classic in the fit and finish on the interior, which gives you that warm wood feel, that it'll give you the warm fuzzies, as it were, for years and years to come.
It'll hold that traditional feel, but yet on a modern performance boat.
Exactly.
Without overdoing it with a lot of teak that would generate work. This is teak that will stay like that for years to come.
Exactly. Now you'll notice that there's handholds running the entire length of the salon, port and starboard. There's a handhold right here in the galley. So as you're coming down the companionway steps, you've got a handhold. You're moving through the boat, you've got handholds. And that's exactly the way boats should be set up for safety. Now, another custom item we did was we installed this Garmin 8612 MFD multifunction display. We custom made this. We through bolted here, so it's good and stout. And we also have taken the sensors or sending units from the engine and taken them to all three of our Garmin 8612 MFDs. So you can watch the engine from either helm station outside or the nav station inside. You can also run the autopilot from any of those three Garmin 8612 or the autopilot head itself. So a lot of versatility in the way we've set this boat up. And then as long as we're sitting here, let's just show you, this is the Fusion sound system. This is the ICOM 803 single sideband. This is one of three smart mics for the VHF. This is the Iridium Go. Of course, that's right there. That's just your solenoid for the cooker. Down here, we have the engine ECU. We have the electric winch. And this right here is the power breaker for the single sideband. So the the nav station is really a very compact but versatile control center for the whole boat. And the owner wanted it to be set up just this way. We redid this panel entirely. We did a lot of custom work on the boat in terms of installations. We took the boat, the standard outfitting from the boat from Catalina, and then we kind of disassembled some things and then reinstalled them so that everything would have a very nice flow. Another thing this owner wanted was the Garmin Hub security system. And what we did there, and this is quite notable, the Garmin Hub system is in behind this box. And it's a black system. We've shown it on prior videos. The owner said, well, can you make it sort of disappear? Because it was a little unsightly. So not only did we make it disappear, we made it disappear. And ship's carpenter, Greg Ralston, if you notice, he matched the maple battens that come standard with the boat, built this box, and then there's a big loom of wiring right here. So because this is white, he built this out of white, so it all just sort of went away. This is the cell phone signal amplifier or expander, and you notice both of these items are center justified to the window. We try to keep the aesthetics in mind no matter what we did on these custom installs. We think it's important that the boat should function well but should be beautiful inside and out. Now as we move aft a bit further, another item that the owners wanted, because they love their coffee and they want fresh ground coffee beans. So this is the coffee maker. There's a 110 volt outlet right behind it, and we built a bracket. Actually, the ship's carpenter Greg Ralston built the bracket here that'll hold this in place. It's not going to go anywhere. And then I called for this cover because it's next to the companionway, and there might be salt spray when folks are out sailing, or if it's raining, or there might be dirt that's just in the air. We wanted to keep this nice and clean. Another thing that we did, and this is a standard option available to all Catalina owners on their 425 and the 445, is if you load this up with wine bottles and the boat's bouncing around enough, potentially this door could be forced open. So what we wanted to do is come up with an elegant but simple solution to keeping the door from opening no matter what the seaway. And again, Greg Ralston, the ship's carpenter, did a masterful job of creating that. Very simple. Ted Wyrack, Innovative Marine, did all the installations on all these electronics and nav items. And again, he's really the best of the best. And he did a great job. The owners also wanted an insect screen, and a great idea, because if you open up the companionway, and if you'll notice on each of the hatches, there's 5 hatches. Each of those hatches have a shade on one side and an insect screen on the other side. Beautifully done. Those are very nice quality shades. Then as we move a little further aft on the port side, we come to what is known as the flex stateroom. The owners of this boat are diving enthusiasts and pretty serious about their diving. So they wanted this to be a dive center. So we had created or built a holder for the 6 dive tanks, and they're very, very secure. And then we went ahead and built a 4-inch fiddle around this berth. And there's a lot of gear under here, and some of it pretty heavy. So if you were on a port tack for hours and hours and hours, I could see where maybe some of this stuff might want to fall into the sole. So we created the first ever, as far as I know, cargo net for this area. And that worked out really well. And it's easy to lift the net or put it back in place. So easy access to a lot of things that are heavy enough that they might move around, and we've eliminated that. When we go topside, or we'll go on the deck, you'll notice there's a washdown system, the one you saw in that forward stateroom, and these are the fittings for the washdown system. Really good water flow with that system. This, by the way, is the Iridium Go router and power unit, and what we did there, because it's a 110 system, we put another 110 outlet right here, so it's completely hidden out of the way. You're not going to grab the wires accidentally or have a problem with that. And we just plug that in, and you turn on the generator, and you can be out in the middle of the ocean watching your favorite streaming show. The owner of this boat wanted a water making system because they're going to go to the Caribbean and maybe beyond, and they opted for the Rainman portable water system, so it's not a hard install. And we had to find a safe and stout place to store the base unit, which is quite heavy. It's about 40 pounds, I would say. And also you have the membrane, which is quite heavy. So what we did was look around, and we didn't want to take any usable storage space. That storage space on a boat's always at a premium. So what we did was reinforce this particular locker. This gives you access to the transmission in the back of the engine. So we reinforced it with cleats going around it, and it's 3/4 inch plywood anyhow, marine ply. And of course, this goes ahead and straps down to the base, so it's not going anywhere. And we bought another set of these rubber snubbers, and we're going to put that here and over on the other side, and that'll keep this from moving around no matter what the sea condition. Similarly, the membrane, we took L brackets, steel L brackets, and put a little teak face on them to dress them up a little bit. So that's on a shelf, and the shelf is very stout because it sits on this part of the liner of the boat. Then we did something again new. We kind of figured things out as we went. So that 40-pound base unit, most of us can lift 40 pounds, but in a seaway, 40 pounds gets to be a bit of a problem. So what we did was we went ahead and came up with a block and tackle system that hooks to the 1 1/4 inch stainless steel bow of the Dodger. We've got Dyneema up there, Dyneema line. The snap shackle goes through the loop in the Dyneema line, and you just hoist the base unit and the membrane up if it's kind of uncomfortable conditions and you don't want to try to lift it up through the companionway yourself. And potentially, this also also could be a way to lift those dive tanks up, again, if the conditions were adverse, but you wanted to get the dive tank. So again, we kind of figured these things out as we went, as we saw potential problems or issues or challenges down the road. And we kind of went through the boat and we said, oh, well, if we do this, how do we do that? How do we move this comfortably? We're getting older. We're not 20 years old anymore. So we just kind of problem solved as we went. And again, with Ted Wyrack and Greg Alston, all the canvas package is done by Steve Lippincott of Lippincott Canvas. The owner's orientation today on the Garmin system, for example, will be Friendship Marine. They're the dealer here in Bradenton, Florida, and they're really good at doing owner's orientation. So those are some of the things we've done on the interior of the boat. You know how the boat works. We have, by the way, another head here, kind of a day head, although it does have a shower. And the shower, you just lift up the faucet there, and that becomes a shower. And there's curtains, if you'll notice, that cover the toilet and come across, they cover the door. Again, with the very nice teak sole grate. So from here, we're going to go outside and we'll take a look at the outside. Before we do that, I will mention this Ghost has a Fusion sound system that does more. It's not just a stereo system. You can stream on it. It has Bluetooth. And then we have a large television, a smart TV, and we also install the Apple TV component there at the top of the TV. So it's going to be a rugged sailing boat, a good cruiser, and a very comfortable interior with entertainment to the extent that you want entertainment with a lot of versatility. All right, we'll go into the cockpit now and continue our tour.
All right, folks, so that concludes the walkthrough of the interior of the fully commissioned Catalina 445. You've seen some things on this boat that you don't see on a on a standard production boat. You know, there's security system. I've never seen a boat with one of these installed. This is, you know, the latest and greatest technology. You go around, you can see where the sensors are for the contacts on the hatch and other places, so you can tell if somebody's trying to get into your boat. The new wireless, you know, Wi-Fi cellular system, right?
Well, this is the cell phone signal amplifier.
System. So it doesn't matter where you are. This is going to pick up the signal from your security system, amplify it, and send it out to you. The installation on the fans is beautiful. You know, this much wire showing. So that absolutely did a phenomenal job. Boat is beautiful. You know, everybody likes the teak. Nobody likes to maintain it. So having it done in the fashion that Catalina put this boat together is great, because you get the beauty of the teak, you know, that rich grain and shapes and shades on the wood, but without having to do maintenance on an ongoing basis once a year, pulling the sanders out and the varnish and doing all the heavy lifting. So kudos to Catalina for a phenomenal idea. Other nice things I noticed in this boat compared to others is you're not going to find a whole bunch of sharp corners anywhere. Everything is rounded, beautifully rounded and routed. So if you accidentally fall into something, you're not going to, you know, poke a bone or poke a muscle.
Right.
It gives you a soft landing if you lose your balance inside the boat. So Ed, thank you so much for giving us the interior walkthrough.
Sure.
Look forward to moving outside and let's see all the great new technology and new things that have been added to this Catalina.
Good. Look forward to it.
All right, let's go do it.